Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to feature a tank that is, I think, one of the most underrated tanks. Well, maybe not. I think it's underrated. We're on our journey here. We looked at the Churchill, we looked at the other Churchill, and the Black Prince, and the Carnarvon, and finally you get to tier 9, and you get this. Up and at 'em! The Conqueror! It's not a super Conqueror. It's not super yet. It's just a Conqueror. But in my opinion, it's already pretty super. I don't know, what makes the Super Conqueror so much more super than the Conqueror? Well, I guess the armor. The Conqueror does have this big, huge, American-style stack of pizzas on the top, which is a weak spot. But hey, I think a lot of people, oh, he's going to stop and take a shot. No, he's not. This is the perfect map for a Conqueror. It's El Halouf, where, of course, everyone fights here. The important battle, anyway, goes on here. And it's two ridge lines. Team with the best player that can work his gun depression usually wins. The enemies have an AE Phase 1, which is also a good hull-down tank. So I'd have to say the matchmaker is almost balanced. So, his team has an M4Y, which is good on a ridge line. And the enemy team's second tier 9 is an Object 257. So this team has an advantage if the M6Y and the Conqueror go to the ridgeline, and that's what they're doing. But he's going to stop first and miss a shot, just to slowly creep his way. Is he going to take the shot? He's more interested in these guys down in the valley than he is in the ridgeline, which I think is a mistake. But hey, it doesn't matter what I think. This guy has an amazing game. It is Hero 2013 from the Ape Clan. He's an Ape Clan. He's in the Ape Clan. He's in the Ape Clan. If any who got that reference, leave it in the comments. Okay, come on, get to the ridgeline and show us how this thing's supposed to work. Now, oh, and they've got an Emile as well. What does the enemy team have? Well, the enemy team has an Emile and a T-32. But they have the tier 9s that can work this ridgeline. Although it does look like Mike the Worm is not really playing the ridgeline perfectly here. Now, there's someone going to cross, and he's going to pay. He's going to cross, and he's going to pay. Boom. And I think the Yo tank hit him too. Oh, and another enemy's going to be hit. Come on. That reload. And he got him. And the obligatory female crew member nattering at him. And the enemies are making the typical mistake that you make on this map. In my opinion, on this map, the team that's aggressive in this quarter, didn't need to aim for his lower plate, just his flat side plate, but that's too bad. He took a hit. Oh, and he took it. Oh, you're not being very careful, my friend. The team that goes into, look at the minimap here, the team that goes into the low ground right here, usually loses. And the reason is they have to poke this ridge line, which means they have to fight the tanks directly in front of them. The tanks like this that have good gun depression can just punish them. And if they do poke the ridge line, these TDs here, boom, can let them have it. The SU-130 PM and the Borsig if he wants to. And the Leopard's dead. Why take the low ground? Guys, if you're a World of Tanks player, you know, just think about some simple strategy. Why take the low ground? There they go. Hey guys, you've got the low ground. Especially when, see, this guy's going to poke the ridgeline to take a shot, and he made it. He timed it, and he made it. But when you're fighting a Conqueror, or a Kranwagen, or a Super Conqueror, look at this guy. You know, and they've got fantastic gun depression. Why? Why take the low ground? You're just playing into their power. And that's what they're doing, and they're going to pay for it. The score is actually, I'm surprised. God, you pull forward and put a shot into that object. Take a shot into that. Boom. Oh, he ricochets. And this T-44 is trying to time the ridgeline. There's a T-44 who has no gun depression and no business being in that position. But anyway, let's keep watching. The Conqueror can just dominate in these situations, right? Can just where's the Yo tank? Where'd he go? Oh, the Yo tank ran away. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. He did not. Oh, yes, he did. He most certainly did. He ran away. Look at the Yo tank, guys. Look at the mini-map. He ran away like the pussy he is. The Tier 9 M4Y. I guess he was tired of people shooting his tumor. Or his other tumor. His 2 tumors. He could have still done really well on this ridgeline. And you know what? That's a necessary ingredient so that Hero 2013 can have an awesome game. Have the other tier, top tier heavy tank run away. Just means more damage for him. This thing's beautiful. You know, this is another tank line that I rushed through. I remember when I was a beginner, I played the Churchill 1, the Churchill 7, is it? And the Black Prince. We watched the 2 previous videos. And then I remember having to rush through to get the... oh, yes, beautiful. Now you can let him have it. Right there. Yeah. I think I needed it for clan something, or I can't remember. But I rushed the Conqueror. And that's the biggest smackaroonies. Nope. Yes. And your track. Oh, did you take a hit? Yes, he did. No, he blocked it. He blocked heat with his track wheel. Because heat gets blocked by track wheels in this game. I remember having to get it, and I did. A big mistake is skipping Tier 9. Guys, skipping Tier 9 is a big mistake in this game. Tier 8 is a cesspool of shitholeness. Almost all Tier 8 tanks fucking suck, okay? Especially the premium tanks. No matter how good they are on paper, no matter how, which one's good, which one's bad. Oh, the Burask is great, the Progetto's great. Yeah, okay. No, I like my SU 130 PM. There's exceptions, right? But remember, there's what, like 200-300 Tier 8 premium tanks, and almost all of them suck. And then there's another dozens of Tier 8 tech tree tanks, and almost all of them suck. Why? Why do they almost all suck? Well, they don't suck, but they have to fight Tier 9s and 10s, okay? If you're a good player, you can make it work, and you can dominate on the battlefield. Just dab that 2 key, right? But, man, it gets tiring fighting Tier 9s and 10s, especially with the power creep in this game. Especially if you're playing one of the older Tier 8s that doesn't have mobility and a really good premium round. It just gets tiring. So Tier 8 is usually a grind. It's just a struggle getting through Tier 8. And then you get Tier 9, and he's gonna go chase this guy. Oh no! Oh, he almost took one up the ass. Then you get to Tier 9, and I think a lot of players, they have such a miserable time at Tier 8. And I know you're gonna disagree. Some of you are gonna say, "Well, I really love this Tier 8 tank." That's fine. I mean, there's some good Tier 8 tanks. I'm just being generally speaking here. Tier 8 is the shittiest tier, is what I'm trying to say, because you're the last tier in the game that gets +2, or what do you call it, -2 matchmaking. You're the last tier in the game that sees tanks 2 tiers higher than you consistently, right? Then you get to Tier 9, and Tier 9 is one of the only tiers in the game, other than some preferential matchmaking premium tanks, that only sees 1 tier above it. Okay, Tier 9 only sees 1 tier above it. A lot of times it's top tier. And usually the Tier 9 tanks have pretty close to the attributes of the Tier 10. They have, you go down this line, you don't have a Super Conqueror, you just have a Conqueror. But it's pretty damn good. Or the Leopard, you don't have a Leopard 1, you have a Leopard PTA, but it's pretty good. You're going down the Russian medium line, you don't have an object yet, but you got a T-54. It's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? You don't have an E-100 yet, but you got an E-75. And you don't have to fight 2 tiers up. Tier 9 is a sweet spot. If you're interested in high tier gameplay, Tier 9 is fun. And this guy, he's right there. He's behind you. Let's just put it in his perspective here. I wonder what he's thinking. He doesn't want to pull around there because he doesn't want to get shot by the AMX. But he is behind you. There's the AMX. Okay, there you go. That's what he's waiting for. And make your Conqueror gun ring. We scratched them. Okay, now I think that AMX has paid for his stupidity, and now you can fight the AE Phase 1. So what I'm saying is, take your time at Tier 9. Tier 9s are some of my favorite tanks. You know, like I love the Leopard PTA, Tier 9 German medium tank. Love it. There he is. I told you he was behind you. Did you think he ran away?
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
And he's dead. I don't know how that shot penned, but it penned. Like, I love my Leopard PTA. And I know, when I got the Leopard gun, the Tier 10 gun, is much better. It's much more accurate. It's like a laser. The tank is overall, the Leopard is, Tier 10 is overall better than the Leopard PTA. But it always fights other Tier 10s. Alright?
Enemy armor is hit.
Yeah, and you're fighting, when you're always fighting other Tier 10s, you're, I don't know. The Leopard PTA is a sweet spot. It's not as good, but tier for tier, it's pretty badass at Tier 9. Anyways, that's my little bit of advice. Don't skip Tier 9s, guys. Don't skip Tier 9s. Tier 9s are some of the keepers in this game. Oh, the other one that I really like the Tier 9 is the Emil 2. You get yourself the Emil 2, and you almost got a Kranwagen. You don't have a Kranwagen yet. You got an Emil 2, but it's just as good because you're fighting at Tier 9. It's just those games where you end up in a Tier 10 game, but it's not so bad because it's only one tier higher than you, not 2 tiers higher than you. So, anyways, long diatribe to say a simple thing, but there, you got a couple of my favorite tanks: the Leopard PTA, the Emil 2, the T-54. Let's do another one, the E-50. Whoa, the E-50 is head and shoulders better than the E-50M. You know, you look on paper, the E-50M's better, but it's Tier 10. You got the same big, squarish, boxy hull that the E-50 has. You can still ram, but now you're ramming Tier 10s. With the E-50, the Tier 9 German one, you can ram some Tier 7s sometimes. Right? So, anyways, look at this. He's doing a beautiful job here, using his laser-accurate gun. 442. This gun hits. This gun hits hard, and he's got a Muppet. He doesn't get to kill the Muppet. There's one more there's a tiny Muppet left. And Hero 2013, you've given us a beautiful show on how to use the Conqueror. Let's watch another game. This was so much fun that let's watch another game out. Let's make this a long video. Alright? Where's he going? Where's the ELC? Nobody knows where the ELC is now. The ELC is, well, he's a scared little ELC now. And look at this, the M6Y is still alive. He ran away. The M6Y ran away. Let's check in the post-game stats how much damage his M6Y did. And the damage the M6Y did not do, he got to do, because the M6Y ran away and he dominated on that ridge line and held aloof. Like, shame on you. Let's tell him. Shame on you, M6Y, for running away from a ridge line on the one map where the ridge line is the most important portion of the map. Huh? Look at that. Is the ELC going to come for that sneaky reset? Is he going to come for... Oh, there he is. He's been found. He's been found. And he leaves the... Don't leave the cap. You just threw away all your cap points. You just threw away all your cap points. They do give you XP, you know. So he ends up with steel wall and high caliber. He ends up with 7,103 damage. Beautifully done. And the M6Y... You ran away with your little pee-pee. Oh well. And he made some credits.
This town is nothing but a ghost town. This town is nothing but a ghost town.
Oh, okay, we're starting. Ghost Town. Mr. Spock. We're going to call you Mr. Spock. I know your name is more complicated than that, but the first 4 letters of your game are S-P-O-K. So this is Mr. Spock. And he's going to show us an even better Conqueror. I was going to say Super Conqueror. I want to say Super Conqueror. It looks like a Super Conqueror. It's got the shield. It's got everything. It's got it all. The only thing it's just not super. Come on, Mr. Spock. Show us how it's done. He's the heavy. See, he's tier 9. He gets to fight tier 8s in this game, which is always a pleasure. And he immediately sees a light tank that has been lit. One of his teammates takes a shot, And he finishes him off. This is a good active spotting by the enemy team. Daddy, I bought a premium tank. It's called an M4190GF. Was on sale. I only gave Wargaming $58. It was really fun. I lasted 28 seconds this game, Daddy. Maybe I need a camo net. No. Anyway. Cha-ching for Wargaming. Not so much fun for him. Okay, he's moved to the typical heavy tank spot here. This is where you go all the time. Because Wargaming designs these maps carefully to create a choke point where all the heavily armored tanks go. This is the way it is. And he shot the M103 in the Tumor. The M103 is kind of the counterpart of the Conqueror. Very similar. M103 Conqueror. The only difference is, I think, the M103 has a bigger Tumor. Because it's American, and the Russians hate the Americans, so there you go.
It's not a tumor.
And that's the reason. It has nothing to do with any mechanic or any other reason in this game. It's just because the Russians really dislike the Americans, and that's how they designed it. And let's just take this poor American tank out of the game. You know how much of a difference that makes, guys? Do you know how much of a difference it makes? Like, if your Tumor is kind of where is it? Like a flat angled Tumor like that, right? A flat one, as opposed to a big, huge ball. Pretty much the rest of the tank is almost the same. Both tanks are almost the same, other than that Tumor. Pretty much, They're just healed. The M103 is 3.2 kilometers per hour slower. Whatever. They're almost the same. They're almost identical. Just put a big fat Tumor on there, and that's it. The tank's shit. Balance. It's balance duty. It's no problem because we put M103 on one team, and that team lose. But next game, maybe M103 on your team. Yes, I know tank only have 46% win rate, but it's balanced. We move it around. Sometimes you get M103 on your team, and sometimes you don't. And he's moving in like a badass right now. Shooting a KV-4 on the move. And he's slapping right through the gun mantlet. Now this guy's got we didn't check the ammo here. Let's just check it. He's got 326. Yeah, he's going for the armor piercing composite ridge, and he's only got 4 of the regular shells. You spammer. Beautiful premium round, right? 326. Just go. Oh, that ricochet. And what was it? It just. Here's an idea. I'm gonna digress here a little bit. I know tanks have to have weak spots, but the idea of shooting a little cupola, shooting a little Tumor, and just killing the tank, especially in high tier games, 5-6 shots, 4 or 5 shots, you're dead. It just feels stupid to me, and I think maybe maybe if you shoot the little Tumor, like this Tumor, that's a big Tumor, but maybe shooting the Tumor should do less damage overall to the tank. Maybe you should have to shoot the Tumor more because you got some tanks that have the big Tumor and they're on a ridgeline and it just get farmed. It like that, right? Maybe shooting the Tumor 5 times shouldn't kill the tank, or maybe the Tumor should have a maximum of 600 HP, and once you've shot it 3 times, the Tumor's dead. Whatever protection that Tumor was adding is gone, and then let's move on. You know what I mean? Then you shoot the Tumor, and it doesn't do anything anymore. I don't know. That would be complicated. I know that would be kind of a complicated thing to add in the game, but it just strikes me as that might make some tanks with Tumors that go to a ridge line. They get shot 2-3 times in the Tumor, and then they'd be invincible. But then it would make the enemy tanks have to think of a different strategy. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass. But it just seems so unbalanced that some tanks have a big Tumor and some don't. And then you get these games where there's a ridge line, and one team gets 2 M103s, and the other team gets 2, I don't Emil 2s. And I mean, unless the players are simpletons, the team with the Emil 2s wins. Because they don't have a weak spot. And the Mono 3s do have a weak spot. Now that's a weak spot. Hoo-ha! Let's watch that again. We gotta watch that again. You know what? It just seems dumb to me that the winning tank is just the more powerful. Wargaming designed that tank to win. Let's watch it, guys. You ready? 1768 HP. Watch this, guys. 1768 HP. Where does the shot hit him to ignite the ammo rack? Where does it hit him? Where's the ammo? Let's find out where the ammo is stored on this tank. Oh no, someone took 400. Who knows? Did you see that, guys? Did you see that? Wargaming just says yes. It has nothing to do with where you hit the tank. It has nothing to do with where the modules are. There was a module in this pixel, and it exploded, and the turret flew off. I got shot in the track wheel. My driver's dead. One time I was running away, and some tank shot me square in the ass, like right there in the ass, as I was running away in a heavy tank, and my commander says, "Our gun's been knocked out." What? You're on the side of a building and you just poke forward and you show your track wheel and they shoot your track wheel and they say the loaders bought the farm. Yeah. The modules are very carefully modeled in this game. Anyways, the diatribe. It just I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know if there's a fix. It's just an observation, I guess. It's just an observation or a pointing out something that I think is flawed. You know what? I think I figured it out. I've been going around in my mind. The matchmaker could handle it, right? The matchmaker could balance it. The matchmaker could say, "Oh, this map is particularly you need tanks that are good on ridge lines. You know, we're playing El Haluf." So the matchmaker could make sure it puts a good hull down tank on one team and a good. But the matchmaker doesn't, right? You get a map that really the fight is all on one ridge line, and then the matchmaker puts a tier 10 game. It puts 3 super conquerors and a Kranwagen on one team, and then it puts 4 tanks on the other team that have tumors or no gun depression, and then the game's over. Right? I guess that's what I'm saying. Is that there's so many unbalanced results caused by like this team gets tumors and the other team doesn't. This team gets tanks with gun depression, the other team doesn't. I guess that's just the way it is. There's no fixing it, I guess, right? It's just that's World of Tanks, I guess. I guess I'm just describing World of Tanks. If you want a completely unbalanced shit show of a matchmaking fest, game after game after game, play World of Tanks. And sometimes you're on the you get the dominant matchmaking, and sometimes you don't. And maybe part of the skill of the game is to look at that when you look at the lineup, right? When you're playing, what is that map? Westfield, where you have to play on the ridge lines, on the kind of north side of the map. If you look at the loadout just before the game starts, and you're driving I don't know, you're driving an E75, and you notice your team has an E75, 2 E75s, and a T10. And the enemy team has 2 Emil 2s and a Conqueror, then maybe you got to say to yourself, I might not go to that ridge line. I might have to change my strategy for this game. Maybe I have to do something else. But then, the whole point of that, you have to win the ridge line to win on that map. So how do you handle the game? You just have to do something else. You have to lose gracefully. That's what you have to do. You have to say, well, Wargaming decided that I lost this game. Because my team has no tanks that are good on ridge lines, and the enemy team has 3 that are good on the ridge line. So I have to lose gracefully. I'll back up to this position on this rock. And as the enemies overrun us and win easily, I'll try and farm some damage. I guess that's the strategy. That's the type of game we play. And that's it. That's what you see like the Unicoms do. They go, oh, they look at the lineup and go, oh, fuck, okay, we lost this game. And they take a position and farm some damage. That's what it's come to, guys. Now, we spent this video, the video's about the Conqueror, by the way. And we're talking about the flaws in the game. But I challenge anyone to disagree with what I've been talking about. That's the way the game works. That's the way the game works. There are some games that the matchmaker puts the tanks on either side and it's over. Depending on what map you're on, right? And vice versa. Maybe the very next game it's the same tanks, but you get Himmelsdorf. And then the gun depression is not a huge factor, and maybe armor is more of a huge factor, so the E75s win. It goes both ways. But that's part of the, you can consider it a flaw or another variable that you have to deal with. You be the judge. You let me know in the comments what you think. But in the meantime here, old Mr. Spock is on 7 kills. Mr. Spock, I'm sorry. I get carried away and I get nattering and talking about this stuff. And poor Mr. Spock is putting on a show here, and we haven't been talking about his amazing map awareness and how he's adapting to the battlefield and moving around and doing things in this big behemoth. Now, he's not really used his gun depression, has he? On this map, he's had to rely on just knowing where to go. Yeah, I guess he's been hulled down a couple of times, but he's been more of a strategist. I'm not talking about art of tragedy. I'm talking about strategy in the real game, not versus bots. Hey, how did the art of strategy go for you guys? You're excited to see it come back? You'll never see it again. Wargaming will tell us, thanks to the overwhelming support that all of you showed in Art of Strategy. Yuri, only 5% of the player base played Art of Strategy. I know, we must spin this very well. Due to the overwhelming popularity, and we thank you for the amazing support, and we understand how much you loved Art of Strategy, and for that reason, we're going to remove it now and add more features that will make your gaming experience of strategy even more fun next time it comes back. We're not sure when it's going to come back. We'll let you know, but rest assured that it was a huge success and another feather in Wargaming's cap for amazing content, and we're glad that you guys enjoyed it so much. Thank you. That'll be the announcement, and then we'll never see it again. It'll just be in the year-end report. Wargaming successfully successfully launches another amazing new game mode. Huge success. 3% of the North American player base enjoyed it immensely. Seriously, how many of you enjoyed Art of Tragedy? Come on, how many? Let's see if 3% of the comments down there say, what? I loved Art of Strategy. There's always one guy, right? I love manipulating those bots. I told them all to go west, and some of them wandered off path, but I clicked on them and I made them go west. And then my bots beat their bots. Their bots bounced on my bots, and my bots won. I'm a strategist. Oh, sorry, Spock. We missed the finale there. Yeah, he did pretty good. Look at this, guys. He got 9 kills, 7,040 damage, and he lost credits because, look, you gold ammunition spammer. Thanks for watching, guys. The Conqueror. Tomorrow, we will feature the Super Conqueror. Now, if the Conqueror can do this, the Super Conqueror, look out. Catch you tomorrow.